Hello. We're live for day 3 at Strapi Plugin Week. I'm Daniel, Developer Relations at Strapi, and we'll wait a bit as people pour in. We have a really cool session lined up today, and I can't wait to share this session by Matt from VirtusLabs. And before we do that, I see a couple people have joined us already. Vivek, hello. Good to see you again. I think this is day 3. It's day 3 of plugin week, and it's day 3 of seeing Vivek in the chat. So huge shout out to you. Um, let me know if there's anyone else. Let me know where you're coming from. Let me know how your plugin week is. How's building your plugin going? You have any troubles? How did you like the other sessions? Let us know in the chat. Yeah, glad to be here also. Like I said, very excited for today's session. It's a very interesting one. Hey Paul, see you joining there on Twitch. So by the way, was streaming on both Twitch and YouTube. Nice, Vivek. Lots of learning. It's always good to hear that there's lots of learning happening from people. I'll wait about 2 more minutes. And if you see me looking this side, I'm just looking at my other monitor. So I'll wait about 2 more minutes before we get into our session from Matt, who is at an organization called VirtusLabs, and they're one of the pioneering companies that have been building plugins for Strapi all the way from the V3 days, and they migrated a lot of their plugins to V4, and they have many organizations that use their plugins to run their apps with Strapi. So I think this will be a very interesting session to get sort of like some insight on the potential that the plugins that you are building during this hackathon plugin week could have for not just yourselves, but other people in different organizations and the rest of the Strapi community. So yeah, it's, I will, yeah, let's wait 1 more minute. I'd love to know where everyone's joining us from, and what you're building. If you have any plugin ideas, if you have any sort of questions before you get started, now's a great time. So bring them on. And if not, I'll use this opportunity to bring up Matt. Hello, Matt.
Hello, Daniel. Hey, everyone. Great to be here.
Oh, great to have you. I will leave the floor to you, and I will take away my slides and let you do your thing. I'm sure everyone's pretty excited to listen to what you have to say. And again, thanks for coming. I'm pretty excited to listen to this myself.
I'm also excited to be part of this first ever hackathon, so hope you are going to enjoy this short show and also the ad hoc demo that Daniel asked me just before this session. So that's going to be really the premiere demo of our plugins.
Yeah, that's the entertainment part of the show, seeing how Matt can do with his demo. But thanks again for joining, and we're very happy to have you. I'll let you carry on from here then. See you soon.
Yeah. Okay, so as Daniel already introduced me, I'm Matt. That's going to be easier to pronounce, but formally it's Mateusz. I'm from VirtusLab. I'm head of front-end engineering in VirtusLab. Previously, I was the typical engineer, then the principal, etc., engineering manager, but daily I'm still getting involved into the Strapi and the plugins. I'm trying to do it all the time after hours that I've got, all between my daily responsibilities as being a head off. So the VirtusLab is a company that I'm working. Well, I don't remember how many years, but from a really long time, almost from the init. And we are building the complex solutions mainly for the digital transformation of the huge organizations. And our main focus is to build up the teams and incubate the teams for our clients. And the VirtusLab as a company was from the init involved into the open source. That's why when we set up the front-end division, front-end department that I've taken the lead of, we also stepped into the front-end and the TypeScript, JavaScript open source, like for example the Strapi. We are located in a couple of European cities, but we are working worldwide. So that's mainly because we are doing something called nearshoring because of team's incubation. And together with my team, that at this very moment got 4 members. Soon that's going to be 5. We have set up a couple of Strapi plugins. We have started from the V3 in the beta version, as I remember, and we started with comments and navigation doing there. I've personally bootstrapped those plugins, part of research for one of our biggest consumers, which is also one of the Strapi consumer at this very moment. And that's how it started. Now the navigation plugin and the comments one got their V4 version fully redesigned, fully re-implemented from the scratch, and also now supporting TypeScript even before Strapi is doing that for their main version. So comments already got it. Navigation is going to get it soon, I think within the next 2 weeks. Besides of it, we also started doing the things with typings for the Strapi. So the toolings that are useful for, especially for the plugins developers, as we are. So as we would like to build up the proper typed plugins, we have bootstrapped the Strapi typed, which is also doing the same thing as building Strapi types that are going to go live soon with their TypeScript version. And also in progress, we've got something called Strapi Molecules, the monorepository that was mainly prepared for the V3 because of a, let's call it, focus and the direction that we choose. We didn't rewritten everything to V4, but we have started doing that a week or 2 ago with that kind of a team that we already got permanently set up for building up the Strapi things. Hopefully by the summer we'll be able to bring to the community also the molecule stuff that contains, for example, the search, the nested search, really complex searches that contains the logging feature, the etc. So a lot of small developer plugins without their own UIs, but really good things, especially for the bigger projects and for the clients that got really solid security and audit requirements to the software that they are building. But how the ideas of everything that we build, that we are building, that possibly in the future we are going to build comes to our minds. So I'm not going to, I guess, reinvent the wheel if I'm going to tell you that that's mostly driven by the business. Yeah. So during the daily work with the clients in the enterprise projects, in the startup projects, we've got a lot of challenges. Yeah. And we are looking for the opportunities, what we might do better. And as a VirtusLab that is the company that got the team setup, especially for doing the open source, we are able to provide some of the features also to the community. So we've got a case within the daily business work. We are trying to get out the business logic from there and build the community thing. Also, we are constantly looking to the Discord, to the community channels, and checking what ideas, what challenges you've got. That gave us a lot of insights to the plugins that we already got, and which we are aligning to the community needs. We are listening your feedback on the issues, on the discussions on GitHub and also on the Discord. So we are here to improve the things that we built, and if you get any ideas, we are happy to discuss them also. Everything that I mentioned is taken on our like typical project brainstorm session that we got every week as every well organized team. So we are not treating Strapi as a side project. We've got a full team. We've got all the ceremonies to make it work efficient and provide the best value that you can with a best quality and proper timing. So just not to let you wait long months to get a small feature. We are working as a typical software team here. But how we are using the plugins? Because I said that we build them, but that's not only for the community. Community is, of course, the biggest consumer of those plugins and the source of ideas, but all of them are used by the commercial, by the business. So the design decisions that we are taking are the clue of the success of each of a plugin. Because it's not a case to build a plugin that we are going to use just for the single company. Each of them must have the proper defined set of functionalities which are going to be available for the community and going to be driven by the community, and the business logic that is really specific for the use case. Thanks to how Strapi plugin API and extensions strategy has been built, we are able to cut those things and deliver what is required for the community, work with you on improving, on taking the direction, but in the same time, keep the business logic within the client project, which is really specific there, and extend the plugin to the direction that probably won't fit the community, but it's fit the business needs of a client. And every consumer, every client might do the same, should do the same, use the core that is open and extend it to the direction that they need. One of the examples that we've got is the Tesco technology that VirtusLab is working with. So the Tesco is using the Strapi is working with us on the plugins that are built for the community, but they got a lot of extended logic. Neither our internal teams, our marketing teams also, because we've got a lot of initiatives within the VirtusLab, and those teams got different requirements, different use cases. So they are building on top of the plugin logic. They are extending. So if you would like to get involved, you've got some ideas, or you just would like to look how the plugins work, feel free to grab the links. All of them except the Strapi type, because it's not a plugin, that's the utility, are available on the Strapi market, so you are able to get them to your own project. And now I'm going to switch the screen to bring you a short demo of what I've got locally on my environment. So as you see, I'm going to enlarge it a bit. The typical screen for you, the Strapi one. Here are our commands and the navigation plugin built. So I'm going to start from the navigation one because there are a lot of questions for what this navigation plugin is, if it's working with a Strapi navigation or it's more for the client applications. Yeah. So a main focus for all of our plugins was to provide the API for the client services that Strapi exposed the data for. So we are just enriching the data. We are providing the different data structure, different abstractions on the data that are exposed by the Strapi. For example, the navigation one will be able to provide you the navigation structure for, let's say, your blog or your company page. You don't need to make the hierarchical collections within the typical content manager plugin. You are just providing different collection types, different content types, single types, and you are building the navigation here. You are able to provide items that are exposed and defined and configured for the plugin. I'm going to jump to the configuration just after showing also the comments and build up the things. Let's say I'm going to name it like test. Should be like this one. As you see, there is not needed slash. So we've got something like that. It works with statuses, the statuses of a publishing with each individual item, the single types are supported, etc. You might also see some of early beta features like multi-lang support. So we are going to provide it really quick to you. The beta version is already public, but the RC we are expecting within a week and a half, something like that. So this thing is also fetched by the GraphQL. I think, yeah, it's providing us the structure, and the same thing is able to be taken by the this is not for comments. I think I'm going to make it live. We'll see the main navigation without authorization. Yeah, it works, the flat structure, and let's say I'm going to provide a 3.1. Yeah, we've got a properly nested navigation structure, just like we have defined within the Strapi. So based on this, you are going to be able to, let's say, build your site on the fly. If your client application is going to dynamically render everything, you've got everything controlled from the Strapi. The comments one is dedicated for the discussion moderation. So you are configuring the content types for which you would like to provide the comments feature. And for each of an entity, if, of course, you are going to provide a proper text field and etc., proper interface in your client application, you'll be able to post the comments. Here, your moderators, administrators are going to be able to review them. It's possible to restrict that not all of the comments are going to be visible just after posting. Maybe the moderation is going to be required. Same like with the bad words filtering. There is an automatic filter applied, which you are able to customize. It provides you ability to post the abuse reports, etc. So let's say I'm going to try to do something really quick here, like that's going to be my hackathon test comment. Let's see. Okay, I will see. Authorized. Hopefully, it's going to appear. Yeah, here it is. So I've got this comment. It's the response for one of the pages that is available here. So it is connected with the exact content type entity. If we've got the treats, we are able to, for example, block them. Each individual comment might be also blocked. That doesn't mean that it's not appearing in the response. Of course, if we are going to filter it out, it's not going to appear, but some of the clients might just mention that this comment has been deleted or whatever. So we are giving the full freedom here, how you are going to make it. You are able to drill down the treats, etc., and also play with report abuses that I've already mentioned. Let's check which ID of a comment. That was the 12. So I'm going to report abuse against the 12 one. Let's see. Let's say that I didn't use the proper language. So report has been sent. And let's see if it's going to appear. That comment was blocked. Yeah, we've got something to review. As that's the local, I didn't get the mail notification, but the Strapi email plugin is integrated with it. So as a moderator, I'm going to get the notification that, hey, you've got a report to review. So let's review the reports. Yeah, this is the comment, and this is the anonymous report. So we are able to decide what we are doing. We might resolve this as not proper one, or just block the comment based on this report. Yeah, let's say that I'm going to resolve it. Nothing more to show. Yeah. And with settings, each of the plugins got own configurations. So the navigation one, you are defining for which collections and content types you'd like to configure the plugin for. So if you are not going to set the collection or single type here, it's not going to work against it. Just for the things that are selected here, you are able to select the name fields just for rendering the proper names on the interface, and field to populate if the fields are available. Or there are some fancy warnings if, for example, the single type hasn't been initialized. So you've got the single type, but it's not yet published or saved. So it's not going to be available anyway via the editor. And a couple of additional settings like audience. That's one of the custom fields. Some of you might use it, some of them not. But soon we are going to provide the fully customizable custom fields for this plugin also. So you'll be able to define whatever metadata you would like to define for each navigation item. And also the comments plugin, almost the same looking interface as for navigation one. So you are configuring this for the content types that you've got, enabling, disabling the stuff like GraphQL, bad words, and you are able also to provide the client portal information, which are required mainly for the notifications, because if someone is going to respond to the comment, the author of a comment is going to get the notification. And also some significant roles which should get notification what is happening for moderation. Yeah, so that's going to be mostly all from my end. As I see, 2 minutes before the time, so even with the demo, I'm ready.
No, you're right on time. That was an excellent demo. Thank you very much, Matt. And we've got a couple of questions actually.
Okay.
So I will. I'll point some out. I think Edward asked, "What is audience in the UI navigation?"
Yeah.
That was, I think, in the comments plugin.
No, it was in the navigation plugin. So the audience Let's say that was based on the business case. Yeah. The audience is nothing different than the key value pair. So you might be able to use it as you would like to. For our clients, we are using it mainly to define which navigation items should be visible for which groups. Yeah, we are defining audience as a groups and personalizing it based on those key values on the client interface. So that's just a metadata. And as I said, the initial metadata, and soon we are going to provide a feature for defining your custom fields for this. So our audience is going to be just a init, and you will be able to do it whatever you want.
So that's very business case specific. I'm getting. Okay, and I am Root CS wants to know if you have any plans to build a starter template that dynamically renders the entire site based around your plugins.
Yeah, we would like to build something like that as part of a Strapi examples repository. I didn't mention this repo as part of my presentation, but on each plugin repository, we've got a reference to examples. We are storing the example how to configure the plugin for the Strapi, and as part of it, we would like to build what Amrut mentioned, the example for navigation rendering on the UI, probably based on the Nest.js, and also just a comment feed for as a client application. So the two ones.
Nice. That's pretty good. I'll try and share some links to those repositories, and I'll just mention now if you've got any questions, please do drop them below, and we'll try and answer them.
I see the next one from Amrut. How much development time was put into your different plugins? Honestly speaking, I'm going to get back a bit in a time, so the time travel to the V3. Yeah. So the first version that I did personally of the comments took me 1 week of development after hours. So that was 4 hours per day, up to 6 hours per day. So that was quite quick. Yes. So during the week, I was able to set up the fully functional plugin ready to use by the business. Yeah.
That's not bad.
That was it. Yeah. Almost the same with the navigation, but navigation was a bit more tricky. So it took 1.5 a week after hours. But yeah, if we are talking about the V4, both plugins took more than a month for 2 developers. That was that kind of a time invest to re-implement it and align for the Strapi requirements, the new design system, etc. And also that was the full re-implementation. So let's say 1.5 a month.
I see.
Twice.
What would you say is the difference having developed them in V3 and V4? Which one do you prefer?
V4. That's why we re-implemented it, not just let's say realigned. Yeah, because the V4 got so many good things to just just not to use them. Yeah. So we wanted to fully move to V4 and also rethink a couple of our approaches and ideas that also I took after hours and might not be valid for the fully fledged plugin used widely by the community and also the commercials.
Interesting. I have a couple questions also around your plugin strategy. You mentioned, a lot of the ideas you have for plugins come from customer needs, right? And then eventually you open source and other people start to use these plugins. How do you manage the expectations between both the community and like the customers?
Yeah, so if you got a business case for the customer, we are trying to find the common use case. Yeah, the basic use case that might be the community one, because mostly for the commercial, it's more complex, more aligned to the business needs. Yeah, so there are some, just like this audience thing. Yeah, you might not understand it, but the business know what they would like to do it with it. Yeah. So that's the matter of a decision where you are going to put the border uh, between the community and the public one. And what is really important, we are not mixing the time of building the plugin with a customer thing with an open source. Yeah, as we've got an open source team, the team fully takes the responsibility of building the community part, and then the team that works for the client takes this and just extend it by the client logic, just to be fully transparent and don't mix the time between the commercial and the internal one.
Okay, that's a pretty interesting way of taking things. Would you say that like your ability to be flexible in that way for clients and put together these unique solutions leveraging plugins have given you some sort of advantage when it comes to keeping them and getting new
Yeah,
clients?
yeah, it gives a lot of advantage not only for us but also for the client, because look from the client perspective. Yeah,
Yeah.
there is some additional capacity that is going to build most of my functionality that I don't need to pay for. That's really good thing. Yeah, but we are investing for the community, so that's our investment to build it for the community, and then the client is just paying for the business logic on top of it.
That's that's a win-win deal. And
Yeah.
when in your sort of like functioning as a business, did you realize that Strapi plugins could do this for you and have this sort of scenario where you're creating something cool that one helps the community out and people can contribute to, but
Yeah.
also solves like the client's issues and adds more value to them.
Yes. So as I said, the VirtusLab was from the beginning involved with a community, um, because the company was focused mainly on the Scala language. Yes. So it started to build up around the Scala. Now the whole Scala 3 is built by VirtusLab mostly. Yeah, as a company. So we've been with an open source movement from the beginning, and taking the initiatives for the open source is the really easy thing in VirtusLab, because we see a lot of value. Well, that's the visibility for the company. Yeah, so we are investing for the visibility. By the other side, we are giving possibility for our people also to take a break from the commercials. Yeah, because they might jump to that kind of a project, take a break from the commercial work and work for something without a pressure, something like that.
It's always nice to change the sort of like for lack of a better term, change your view and what you're working on. So I definitely see that as a really nice thing.
Yeah.
But thank you again for sharing. It was a great presentation, great demo, even though it was requested very last minute. Thank you very much. And I don't know if we have any other questions from the people watching. I think now is a great time before we let Matt go, and before we take the last question, what's your advice for anyone building a Strapi plugin, thinking about building it, or sort of like beginning to build? Do you have any? It can be technical tips, business case tips. What do you have on your mind to share?
What I've got in my mind, the last words, try to be unique. Yeah, try to be unique as always. Yeah, because even the basic thing, but the unique is the most powerful thing that you might build up. Yeah, it's not a case to build just another plugin. It's just a case to build a plugin that no one else does, even with just a basic case. Yeah, if you've got a plugin that already exists, contribute with the team, with a person that did it. Maybe you are going to build something much more sophisticated and aligned then. Yeah, because that's the spirit of open source. Yeah.
Absolutely. build it, get more people, make it long term, give it sustainability, have the product
Yeah.
live longer than the people. Absolutely amazing last words, Matt. Thank you very much. One more question, from Edward: are you able to hide plugins from some admin users, like the plugins that you create?
For yeah, both of our plugins are integrated with a Strapi airbag, so as you can build it as you want. Yeah, for the community version of a Strapi, we agreed to not, let's say, differ it. Yeah, because it's not possible to assign the plugin roles
Yeah,
for the um, let's say the plugin capabilities for the roles in the community. So yeah, we've got a talk with the Strapi engineers, and we just left it open just to be transparent and clear and not limit anything for the community. But if you would like to build it much more granular, yeah, it's already, everything is already in place. You just need to base on the Strapi airbag and the packages that allows you to customize the roles. So nothing need to be built on top of it. It's already there.
nice. Okay. I hope that answers your question, Edward. And last one before we go, just to give some people some inspiration, some ideas. What what plugin would you like to see someone build? What one or two plugins would you like to see someone build this plugin week?
Yeah, I've got one in my mind. I remember from the discussions with a couple of the people from the community when we've dropped the like functionality from the comments one. Think about the plugin for reactions, the unified plugin that's going to work with any content type and give possibility to react on the content. Yeah, give a like, dislike, whatever you'd like to provide as a reaction.
That's an interesting one. I like how
Yeah,
open-ended it is, so that you can think about how you implement it also.
yeah.
So if
And
anyone's watching,
we are
take that
open to
idea.
help with it
Oh,
also,
and they're open to
because we've
help
got
also.
it on our backlog. But if someone is going to start it earlier, we are happy to cooperate.
Nice. Okay, so everyone watching, you had it here first. If you want a project to work on and have people to, help take it further, VirtusLabs and Matt are willing to help you on the reactions plugins. So
Yep.
I'll share that in the hackathon channel. Um, but yeah, I've seen a couple people who mentioned that they might want to work on it. So all the best. And again, thank you very much for taking the time. We really appreciate all the work that you do around building plugins and enabling the ecosystem, not just the Strappy one, but the open source ecosystem. So again, thank you very much. And thank you everyone for joining. That's been day 3. We'll see you in the Discord. Tomorrow we have question and answer with Strappy engineers. So if you have any other questions around whatever you're going to try out today, tomorrow will be the perfect time to bring those questions. All right.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you. Bye.
Cheers.